Okay, we're back again. I've already been on the site a couple times today, but had a few minutes here, about a half hour or so that I can stream while I'm eating lunch. So I figured I'd jump on here and answer some questions. Summing totals help. Okay, so it's that issue. So I'm just going to refer this individual to my measure totals stuff. And measure totals, and hopefully get him what he needs. Again, system's a bit slow today. Apparently I've also, I've got an antivirus scanning my system in the background. I can't disable it, so it's doing its job, I guess. Alright, let's see here. Filter column with same value as selected value. Custom connector, I don't do much with those. Publish to web, user specific. I don't think you're going to be able to do that either. Data flows stuck refreshing. It's kind of new. Let's see, sharing connections, how to share data connection. That's only the enterprise gateway. Incoherence numbers between Google Analytics and Power BI. Take a look at that. Rolling employee turnover by fiscal year. Adding QTD and YTD to dim date. Alright, that's probably enough. Oh yeah. Let's see, filter column with same value as selected value in slicer. Trying to do something that's supposed to be very simple, but I can't manage to do it. I have a slicer that I call a column. Facts company with 5 A's. APL, Microsoft, FB, Amazon, Google. Okay. When one of these values is selected, I want another column, facts company flag, which has the same values to be filtered according to the filtered value. I think it should be a DAX formula with selected value and if, but I'm not sure how to do it. I have a slicer that I call a column with 5 values. Facts company flag to be filtered according to the filtered value. Oh yeah, that's that doesn't make any sense to me. If they're in the same table, then well, that's weird. Can you share a sample of your data? If those two columns are in the same table and have the same values, then when you filter one, it should essentially filter the other. If selected value equals AAPL. But one thing that you could do potentially would be something like this. So instead of doing this, measure equals my filter equals var filter. Oh, what am I doing here? filter equals max of facts. There. Var table equals filter facts where company flag equals filter. Filter facts where company flag equals filter. Return. Do something here with your table. Table there. Not really certain what you are trying to accomplish. Okay, hello, I have a dashboard that has a list of 1,000 people. I have published this to web, which is on a company website that requires username and password to access. The issue is that the 1,000 are able to view data on everyone, whereas I want the data to be filtered to a specific person. Is there a way I can pass through a filter based on the user that is logged in? I'm using an iframe. Even if it were possible, you would be in violation of the terms of service. I'm not a lawyer here, so you would likely be in violation of terms of service. The proper way to do this is to use the service and row level security or less. I realize that this would require the purchase licenses. I would probably recommend premium in your case with that many users. Not cheap, but sorry, man. Sometimes you gotta pay for things. Sharing connections. How do you share data connections in Power BI? In Power BI Desktop, is there a way to share SQL Server and database connections, any other type of connection that Power BI supports, or any? I'm going to share SQL Server instance that in our vendor's cloud with our coworker who is on the same network and able to do the same. We are connecting, able to connect to a same. Oh, okay. So, unless I am mistaken about what you are trying to I believe the answer is to use the enterprise data gateway. You can set up connections there that everyone can use if you give them access. Alright, oh, you always love the ones with incoherent. Incoherence numbers between Google Analytics and Power BI ask me. Incoherent numbers? I don't know. Power BI desktop report who shows Google Analytics data, and I have difference between the values on Google Analytics and the others on Power BI desktop. For example, for October 2018, a page A was viewed 2,521 times, but on Power BI desktop, I have 2,734 views for the same page. Can you please help me find the reason of this incoherence or to fix it? Well, that is an awful tricky one to troubleshoot. I'm gonna add myself to this thread. I have a Google Analytics site as well that I have set up in Power BI. So I will have to go through and check if I see something similar. Only thing I can think of is around how the data model for Power BI was created, configured, and that perhaps something is off there. I really need to. I wonder if I can. Yeah, I'll have to look and see if I can get onto. Anyway, rolling employee turnover by fiscal year. I'm trying to create a Power BI report that monitors the organization's employee turnover rate. The turnover calculation I'm using is below. No number of leavers divided by headcount. Start of fiscal period divided by headcount end of fiscal period divided by 2. Headcount start of fiscal period divided by headcount end of fiscal period divided by 2. I will close a spreadsheet with 2 tabs that I hope will explain what I'm trying to achieve. A sample of data. A sample of data, the desired output. I hope someone can help. Alright, well, let's take a look at this one. How would you add to a dim date calendar table the quarter to date and Y to date columns? So when you select either Q to date or Y to date in a slicer, we get the correct sales for that period. I've created a necessary relationship between dim date and dim sales. Why would you have a dim sales tables? Wouldn't that be your fact table? Oh well, regardless. So without sample data can only sort of guess, but it should be something like year to date, like what I have in a bunch of my quick measures, like time. Oh, I already just used like space. And I also have one for quarter. Let's see, where's quarter? There's quarter. Copy link. You will also probably want order. Otherwise, let's see more information. All right. So incoherence has been answered. That one's been answered. Let us. Well, first things first. I should probably take a look at this. I got a new message. Yes, I know I have 6,100 messages, but oh, I got another one. Need help on Q over Q calculation and this one. Oh, well, Q over Q calculation. Custom calendar created. And I don't check my private messages nearly as often as I should, just FYI to everyone. Hope you are doing fine. I have a custom calendar created with the year starting from February. How to calculate QOQ sales, date, month, and oof. So date, year, month, month name, quarter, week, year, and it's hard to date, year, month name, quarter, week of year. So he already has quarter. Do I have a quarter over quarter? I'm not sure if I ever did a quarter over quarter one. That's the same basic concept as time intelligence the hard way. It's really kind of, where'd that go? Really should just be able to use this along with this probably. Nah, he's already got quarter in there. Just a matter of adding in the quarter filter along with the year. I would probably create a combination, a column that concatenates your quarter with your year, or perhaps use a variation on my sequential quick measure. And sequential, I love sequential. It's such a cool quick measure, I think. Alright, let's see here. Send. Inbox. Hello. Have a dashboard in Power BI desktop. There is a date field used in the dashboard, create date. Need to replace the create date used in the dashboard with another field named publish date. This publish date field is there in the backend SQL Server source. Could you please suggest me how to do it, or is there any issue in doing this small change? I don't see an issue doing it. Is this a live connection or an import connection? Is the column that for published date already in your model? Alright, let's see. Okay, it's 1:42. I gotta jump off of this soon. So let's go see if anybody's responded to this yet. Rolling in turnover by fiscal year. Open a new tab. Okay, I guess I'll request access. Normally when they share it out so that you can get access to it. That's okay. I clicked the link and requested access. Okay, I already responded to that one. That one's done. Alright, let's go back to our all topics. If I could talk today. Variance between cost centers. DAX to calculate attendance for each class. Need help with DAX. Pull unique values based on something. CSV files. Total size limit. Alright. Which are merged and powered by a desktop. I have a premium account. Notice that all calculations were wrong since the total space storage for those files passed over 6 gigabytes. I noticed that all calculations were wrong since the total space storage for those files passed over 8 gigabytes. Each CSV file contains financial data per year. For example, in 2017, I should have 101 turnover. PBI shows me 115 if I merge those three. If I create a specific PBI with one CSV file, I do have the correct figures. Most astonishing is that I don't have any error message when I do import the data. Any ideas? Is it linked to my RAM, memory, or processor? I should have 101. So is the 101, I don't know what that symbol is. Turnover number some calculation that you are doing. Where does that number come from? Yeah, I don't know. There's not enough information there. Mutable DAX pull unique values based on 2 criterias. I have a table with time entry data for employees. I'm working on an overtime dashboard. At the end, I will need to say I have total schedule hours, and overtime percentage. For me to calculate the total schedule hours, I need to extract only the schedule hours for one day, but in some cases I have employees that type in multiple codes of time entries, and every time they do, that I get a line with the daily schedule hours, but I only need to add one line, not all. What? Okay, so he's got he's got user ID, you should be able to use distinct or values or maybe first non-blank with the right filters, etc. Yeah. Or just use summarize with an average or max or min. And it signed me out, didn't it? So we're going to do this. The post-it's going to fail. Yep. Sign in. You guys are killing me. Come on, take me back there. Alright, there we go. Am I signed in? Yes. Host. Post. Okay. I don't know. Maybe? Hooray! Oh. Watch, post it twice, I bet. Yep. Ah, lovely. I think I already responded to that one. There was another good one up here. Let's see. See if anybody's responded to any of these. How to import topo JSON file to make a shape map. I might answer that one later. DAX to calculate attendance for each class. And then variance between cost centers. Let's see here. I have a data set with the following format. Okay, that's nice. Total, class name 1, intro 1. See, this is, oh man, people, killing me. Each line item is a record of a class by person, so the sum of total by class would the attendance of each class. How? So the total by class would be the attendance of each class. How can I use DAX formula to find the sum of each class? Yeah, if I actually knew what the having a very difficult time imagining your data. Visualizing what your data actually looks like. I mean, never ceases to amaze me. It's like, how do people expect somebody to answer a question like that? There's just not enough to go on. I'm trying to create a variance so that I can compare two cost centers on their actual financial performance. I have basically 100 cost centers with a few years of financial data. What I'm trying to compare is property A, total expenses, property B, total expenses, variance. Property A, ideally the user would be able to select the properties from two different slicers or one if it is easier. I'm definitely stuck on how to achieve this, so thanks in advance. Alright, so I would have two slicers. Well, okay, I would have two tables with your properties. Just the property names. And not related to one another or to any other table. You could create these from your facts table by doing something like table 1 customers 1 equals distinct properties, or say fact. I think, if I'm not mistaken, bing, bing. Alright, let's see here. Distinct DAX. Yeah, column. Takes a column. Fact, column. Anyway, and then customers 2 would equal distinct fact column. Once you have those, then you can create a measure like measure equals var. Okay, so property 1, property 2. So measure equals var property A equals sum. Let's see. Oh no, property A equals max property I'm having a tough time typing today. Property 1 column var property B equals max property 2 column. And then you're going to do a var table A equals filter fact where column equals property A, right? And then table B equals filter and then return sum x of table A expenses minus sum x of table B, table A, and I type table 1, table B expenses. Without actual sample data, not sure I can be more specific. All right. All right. Well, that is it for today, and hopefully I'll be back and doing this again tomorrow. Goodbye.